father about his snoring. I'll leave it to the boys, James. They must have heard you. No, not you, Jamie. I could hear you down the hall almost as bad as your father. You're like him. As soon as your head touches the pillow, you're off, and 10 fog curtains couldn't wake you. Why are you staring, Jamie? Is it my hair? Is it my hair coming down? It's hard for me to do it up properly now. My eyes are getting so bad, and I can never find my glasses.
Your hair looks fine, Mom. I was thinking about how good you look.
Just what I've been telling her, Jamie. She's so fat and sassy. Soon there'll be no holding her.
Yes, you certainly look grand, Mama. I'll back you up on Papa snoring. Man, what a racket.
I heard it too. The more. I know his trumpet.
If it takes my snoring to make you remember Shakespeare instead of the dope sheets on the ponies, then I'll keep on with it.
Now, James, you mustn't be so touchy.
Yes, for Pete's sake, the first thing after breakfast. Can't you give it a rest?
Your father wasn't finding fault with you. You don't always have to take Jamie's part. You'd think you were the one 10 years older.
What's all the fuss about? Let's just forget it.
Yes, forget it. Forget everything and face nothing. It's a convenient philosophy if you have no ambition in life except to...
James, do be quiet. You must have gotten on the wrong side of bed this morning. What were you two grinning about like Cheshire cats when you came in? What was the joke?
Yes, let us in on it, lads. I told your mother, I know damn well it would be one on me, but never mind that. I'm used to it.
Don't look at me. This is the kid story.
I meant to tell you last night, Papa. Forget it. Yesterday, when I went for a walk, I dropped in at the inn.
You should be drinking now, Edmund.
And who do you think I met there with a beautiful bun on, but Shaughnessy, the tenant on that farm of yours?
That dreadful man, but he is funny.
He's not so funny when you're his landlord.
So, would Harker kindly please remove his dirty feet from the premises before he sicked the dog on him? And Harker did.
Heavens, what a terrible tongue that man has.
The damned old scoundrel. By God, you can't beat him. That dirty blackguard. He'll get me in serious trouble yet. I hope you told him I'd be mad as hell.
I told him you'd be tickled to death over the great Irish victory. And so you are. Stop faking, Papa.
Well, I'm not tickled to death.
You are too, James. You're simply delighted.
No, Mary, a joke is a joke, but...
I told Oshag Hennessy he should have reminded Harker that a Standard Oil millionaire ought to welcome the flavor of hog in his ice water.
The devil you did! Keep your damn socialist, anarchist sentiments out of my affairs.
Oshag Hennessy almost wept because he hadn't thought of that one. But he said that he'd include it in the letter he's writing to Harker, along with a few other insults he overlooked.
What are you laughing at? There's nothing funny. A fine son you are to help that blackguard get me into a lawsuit.
Now, James, don't lose your temper.
And you're worse than he is, encouraging him. I suppose you're regretting you weren't there to prompt Genesee with nastier insults. You've a fine talent for it.
James, there's no reason to scold Jamie.
Oh, for God's sakes, Papa. If you're starting that stuff again, I'll beat it. I left my book upstairs anyway. You should be sick of hearing yourself.
You mustn't make Emma work on the grounds with you tomorrow. Remember, it's not that he's not strong enough. It's just that he might catch a cold and perspire and make it worse.
You're a fine lunkhead now. Haven't you any sense? The one thing to avoid is saying anything that would get her more upset over Edmund.
Alright, have it your way. I think it's the wrong idea to let Mama go on kindling herself. It will only shock worse when she has to face it. Anyway, you can see she's deliberately fooling herself with that summer cold talk. She knows better.
Knows? Nobody knows yet.
Well, I do. I was with Edmund when he went to Doc Hardy on Monday. I heard him pull that touch of malaria stuff. He was stalling. This isn't what he thinks anymore. You know it as well as I do. You talked to him when you went uptown yesterday, didn't you?
He couldn't tell me anything for sure yet. He's to phone me today before Edmund goes to him.
He thinks it's consumption, doesn't he, Papa?
He said it might be.
Poor kid. Dadgummit. It might never have happened if you sent him to a real doctor when he first got sick.
What's the matter with Hardy? He's always been our doctor up here.
Everything's the matter with him. Even in this Hicksburg, he's rated third class. He's a cheap old quack.
Okay, run him down. Run everybody down. Everyone is fake to you.
He only charges $1.
That's enough. You're not drunk now. There's no excuse. If you mean I can't afford one of the fine society doctors who prey on the rich summer people,
Can't afford. You're one of the biggest property owners around here.
that doesn't mean I'm rich. It's all on mortgages.
Because you always buy more instead of paying off mortgages. If Edmund was a lousy acre of land you wanted, the sky would be the limit.
That's a lie. And your sneers against Doc Hardy are all lies. He doesn't put on frills or have an office in a fashionable location or drive around in an expensive automobile. That's what you pay for with those other $5 to look at your tongue fellows, not their skill.
Oh, alright. I'm a fool to argue. You can't change the leopard spots.
No, you can't. You've taught me that lesson only too well. I've lost all hope you will ever change yours. You dare to tell me what I can afford? You've never known the value of $1, and never will. You've never saved $1 in your life. At the end of each season, you're penniless. You throw away your salary every week on prostitutes and whiskey.
My salary? Christ.
It's more than you're worth, and you couldn't get that if it wasn't for me, if you weren't my son. There isn't a manager in this business who would give you a part. Your reputation stinks. As it is, I have to humble my pride and beg for you, saying you've turned over a new leaf, although I know it's a lie.
I never wanted to be an actor. You forced me on the stage.
That's a lie. You made no effort to find anything else to do. You left me to get you a job, and I have no influence except in the theater. Forced you. You never wanted to do anything except loaf in bar rooms. You'd have been content to sit back like a lazy lunk and sponge on me for the rest of your life. After all the money I'd wasted on your education, and all you did was get fired and disgraced from every single college that you went to.
Oh, for Christ's sake, don't bring up that ancient history.
It's not ancient history that you have to come home every summer to live on me.
I earn my board and lodging working on the grounds. It saves you hiring a man.
Bah! You have to be driven to do even that much. I wouldn't give a damn if you ever displayed the slightest sign of gratitude. The only thanks is to have you sneer at me for a dirty miser, sneer at my profession, and sneer at every damn thing in the world except yourself.
That's not true, Papa. You can't hear me talking to myself, that's all.
Ingratitude. It's the vilest weed that grows.
Question 1 is why do we choose this scene? And we chose it because it's the first scene where everyone's arguing and together, and we can see the father where his problems, where he's giving the other people problems.
All right, question 2, how we chose to interpret what was happening in this scene. So we chose and believe that Tyrone is actually overreacting to everything in this play, and he's kind of the source of the other characters' problems. So by using this scene, we tried to show that James Tyrone is actually causing his son Jamie to believe that there's no better thing in life than to go around drinking and sleeping with women, and to show that he's actually not paying for doctors that are good enough at what they do to take care of Edmund, at least until the end of the play, and that the stress he's putting on his wife is actually what also forces her back onto morphine.
Question 3, why is this scene important to the rest of the play? It's because it's the beginning, and it kind of sets up like all of the problems that are going to happen on in the rest of this play. It doesn't really make sense to do like any other scene, because in all the other scenes that there's the problems are already happening, they're all ongoing, and it's a lot harder to really see why they're there and give explanations for them. In this one, you can clearly see that the father just really seems to be like a real problem causer and like one of the main problems for all of this, and it's just yeah.